This YouTube video was produced with the assistance of artificial intelligence. Specifically, the visuals were generated using ChatGPT, the script was composed using Claude AI, and the narration was synthesized using Edge-TTS. Discreet. Definition: careful and cautious in one's speech or actions to avoid causing offense or revealing private information, showing good judgment in conduct, especially in keeping things confidential. Collocation: discreet manner, discreet inquiry, discreet distance, remain discreet, discreet approach. Synonym: tactful, prudent, cautious, subtle, circumspect. Example: the manager handled the employee's complaint in a discreet manner to protect everyone's privacy. She made a few discreet inquiries about the candidate before offering the position. It is always wise to remain discreet when discussing sensitive matters in a professional setting. Intend. Definition: to have a plan or purpose in mind, to design or mean something for a particular purpose or recipient. Collocation: intend to do, originally intended, intend for, fully intend, never intended. Synonym: plan, aim, mean, propose, purpose. Example: the company intends to expand its operations into 3 new markets by the end of the year. This training program was originally intended for newly hired employees only. I fully intend to complete the certification course before the deadline. Evolve. Definition: to develop or change gradually over time, often becoming more complex, advanced, or suited to a particular environment. Collocation: evolve over time, evolve into, constantly evolve, evolve from, evolve rapidly. Synonym: develop, progress, advance, transform, mature. Example: consumer preferences have evolved significantly over the past decade due to technological innovation. The small startup gradually evolved into a multinational corporation with thousands of employees. Teaching methods must constantly evolve to meet the diverse needs of modern learners. Erratic. Definition: not even or irregular in pattern or movement, unpredictable and inconsistent in behavior, quality, or direction. Collocation: erratic behavior, erratic performance, erratic weather, erratic pattern, increasingly erratic. Synonym: unpredictable, inconsistent, irregular, unstable, volatile. Example: his erratic performance throughout the quarter raised serious concerns among the senior management team. The region has experienced increasingly erratic weather patterns linked to climate change. Investors tend to withdraw their funds when the market shows erratic behavior over extended periods. Infer. Definition: to deduce or conclude information from evidence and reasoning rather than from explicit statements, to draw a logical conclusion. Collocation: infer from, reasonably infer, infer meaning, infer that, infer information. Synonym: deduce, conclude, gather, derive, surmise. Example: from the data presented in the report, we can infer that customer satisfaction has improved considerably. Readers are expected to infer the author's intention from the context of the passage. It would be reasonable to infer from her tone that she was not entirely satisfied with the proposal. Prosecution. Definition: the institution and conducting of legal proceedings against someone in a court of law, the party conducting such proceedings on behalf of the state or the public. Collocation: criminal prosecution, phase prosecution, prosecution case, prosecution witness, threat of prosecution. Synonym: legal action, indictment, litigation, trial, legal proceedings. Example: the suspect may face criminal prosecution if sufficient evidence is gathered during the investigation. The prosecution presented compelling witness testimony that significantly influenced the jury's decision. Companies that violate environmental regulations are subject to prosecution under federal law. Circulate. Definition: to move or cause to move continuously through a closed system or area, to pass from person to person or place to place, spreading widely. Collocation: circulate information, circulate a memo, circulate freely, circulate widely, circulate among. Synonym: distribute, spread, disseminate, pass around, propagate. Example, please circulate the updated guidelines among all department heads before the meeting on Friday. Rumors about the potential merger began to circulate widely throughout the industry last month. Fresh air must circulate freely in the workspace to maintain a healthy and productive environment. Risk. Definition: the possibility of suffering harm, loss, or danger to expose something valued to a situation involving potential loss or negative outcome. Collocation: take a risk, risk assessment, at risk, risk factor, risk management, pose a risk. Synonym: danger, hazard, threat, peril, jeopardy. Example, a thorough risk assessment should be conducted before launching any large-scale investment project. Employees who work with hazardous materials are at risk of long-term health complications. Effective risk management strategies can significantly reduce financial losses during economic downturns. Affirm. Definition: to state something as a fact with confidence and conviction, to declare support for or uphold a decision, belief, or value publicly. Collocation: affirm a commitment, affirm a belief, affirm a decision, strongly affirm, publicly affirm. Synonym: confirm, declare, assert, uphold, endorse. Example, the board of directors publicly affirmed their commitment to sustainable business practices. The Court of Appeal affirmed the original ruling, leaving the previous decision unchanged. It is important to affirm your core values when making difficult professional decisions. Administration. Definition: the process or activity of managing and organizing the affairs of a business, institution, or government, the group of people responsible for such management. Collocation: business administration, administration costs, government administration, administration staff, administration duties. Synonym: management, governance, leadership, oversight, executive body. Example, the new administration introduced several reforms aimed at improving public healthcare services. Reducing unnecessary administration costs has become a top priority for the finance department. She pursued a degree in business administration to prepare for a career in corporate management. Arduous. Definition: involving or requiring strenuous effort and endurance, extremely difficult and tiring, both physically and mentally. Collocation: arduous task, arduous journey, arduous process, arduous work, long and arduous. Synonym: strenuous, demanding, exhausting, laborious, grueling. Example, the negotiation process was long and arduous, but both parties eventually reached a satisfactory agreement. Climbing the corporate ladder can be an arduous journey that requires patience and persistence. Despite the arduous nature of the research, the team remained motivated and committed to their goal. Therapeutic. Definition: relating to the healing or treatment of disease or disorders, having a beneficial effect on one's physical or mental well-being. Collocation: therapeutic effect, therapeutic approach, therapeutic benefits, therapeutic intervention, therapeutic relationship. Synonym: healing, curative, remedial, restorative, beneficial. Example, many patients reported significant therapeutic benefits after participating in the mindfulness program. Art has long been recognized for its therapeutic effect on individuals coping with stress and anxiety. The therapist adopted a client-centered therapeutic approach to address the patient's specific needs. Control. Definition: the power to influence, direct, or regulate behavior, events, or outcomes, to hold in check or manage something effectively. Collocation: take control, lose control, quality control, control over, under control, control measures. Synonym: authority, command, regulation, power, restraint. Example, the government implemented strict control measures to prevent the spread of the infectious disease. Maintaining quality control throughout the production process is essential for customer satisfaction. She took control of the project after the previous manager resigned unexpectedly. Paradigm. Definition: A typical example, pattern, or model of something, a fundamental framework of concepts and assumptions that defines how a subject is understood or approached. Collocation, paradigm shift, new paradigm, paradigm change, dominant paradigm, paradigm of. Synonym, model, framework, pattern, standard, archetype. Example, the introduction of artificial intelligence has triggered a paradigm shift in the healthcare industry. Researchers are challenging the dominant paradigm that has shaped educational theory for decades. This innovative business model represents a new paradigm for sustainable economic growth. Accompany. Definition: to go somewhere together with someone as a companion or escort, to occur or exist at the same time as something else. Collocation: accompany someone, accompanied by, accompany a change, accompany a meal, accompany a presentation. Synonym: escort, go with, attend, supplement, complement. Example, all visitors must be accompanied by an authorized staff member when entering the restricted area. The report was accompanied by a series of detailed charts illustrating the financial projections. Significant organizational changes are often accompanied by a period of uncertainty among employees. Assume. Definition: to accept something as true without proof or verification, to take on a responsibility, role, or quality, often without being explicitly asked to do so. Collocation: assume responsibility, assume a role, safely assume, assume control, wrongly assume. Synonym: presume, suppose, take on, undertake, believe. Example, it would be wrong to assume that all participants share the same level of understanding on this topic. She will assume the role of acting director while the current director is on extended leave. We can safely assume that the new policy will take effect at the beginning of the next fiscal year. Proportionally. Definition: in a way that corresponds in size, degree, or intensity to something else, maintaining a constant ratio or relative relationship between quantities. Collocation: increase proportionally, decrease proportionally, proportionally higher, proportionally distributed, grow proportionally. Synonym: correspondingly, relatively, comparatively, in proportion, commensurately. Example, as the company's revenue increases, the marketing budget should grow proportionally to sustain momentum. Smaller nations often contribute proportionally more to international peacekeeping missions than larger ones. The workload was proportionally distributed among the team members based on their experience levels. Concept. Definition: an abstract idea or general notion that exists in the mind, a plan, intention, or underlying principle that forms the basis of a system or theory. Collocation: basic concept, key concept, concept of, new concept, concept development, grasp a concept. Synonym: idea, notion, theory, principle, abstraction. Example, the concept of sustainable development has gained widespread attention in recent policy discussions. Students often struggle to grasp abstract concepts without practical examples to support their learning. The design team presented an innovative concept that could revolutionize the user experience entirely. Postpone. Definition: to arrange for an event or activity to take place at a later time or date than originally planned, to delay or defer action. Collocation: postpone a meeting, postpone indefinitely, decide to postpone, postpone until, postpone the deadline. Synonym: delay, defer, reschedule, put off, shelve. Example, the committee decided to postpone the annual conference until a more suitable venue could be secured. We regret to inform you that the product launch has been postponed indefinitely due to technical issues. It is unwise to postpone important decisions simply because they involve a degree of uncertainty. Contingent. Definition: dependent on or conditioned by something else that is uncertain, occurring or existing only under certain specific circumstances. Collocation: contingent on, contingent upon, contingent workforce, contingent plan, contingent liability. Synonym: dependent, conditional, subject to, reliant, provisional. Example, The approval of the project is contingent upon receiving adequate funding from external investors. Many organizations rely on a contingent workforce to manage seasonal fluctuations in demand. The success of the merger remains contingent on the final regulatory review scheduled for next month.